out there. I have been just counting down the time to be with you. Good evening. I just want to embrace all of you, especially since we have been zeroing in on our children. And as you know, we are in the beginning series wherein we looked at how the family came in play. We examined that there is a great big God out there, an intelligent God who decided to make human beings and have human beings participate in this whole procreation and population of the earth. What an awesome privilege it is. Don't take it lightly, because there are so many people who cannot have children. There are so many people who do not have the time nor the patience for children. So, mothers, fathers, grandchildren, grandparents, you are privileged. We have a job to do, and that job is to save our children, prepare them to take our place, prepare them to stand in society. It's an awesome privilege. So, this journey that we have been embarking on for the month of August is to prepare our children for going into the learning environment, to go into the environment of socializing, of discovering, and retaining. We have been preparing our children to be leaders, to be winners, to take the world to another level. And so what am I saying here? Is that we here at What's the Matter with the World, have the families gone mad, is helping you and you and you, wherever you are out there. Germany, big welcome to you. Holland, the same. Gellert from Dutch and Denmark and all of that location of the earth. I want to give a big shout out tonight to you. Yes. So wherever you are, we are equipping you, we are preparing you, and we are helping you to save your child and place that child in society. And because it is such a big, awesome task, we are going to pray before we start. What do you say? Let's go. Mighty God, Father of the universe, it doesn't matter what man say. They can say they don't believe in you, mighty God, all they want. They know in their hearts that there is a God, that God loves them, that he made the sun to shine upon them, to provide for them, the rain to fall, and the beautiful rainbow that symbolizes his promise and the many promises that he has made to us. And I just thank you, mighty God, for being our God and for giving us the grand privilege of being procreator with you in creating children, in bringing children into this earth. And we crave your help tonight to learn how to help our children to take their stand in society. In Jesus' name I beg you this, mighty God. Amen. Amen. All right. Now, you will have the privilege of calling in tonight, and you can ask us any questions regarding what we did last week. Remember, we talked about preparing your child to overcome bullying, okay? That if they are the victim, and also to keep your eyes on your child if your child is a bullier, okay? So it's 2 points in the spectrum. Do not encourage your child to take disadvantage of someone else. And you can know when your child is a manipulator. Some children are very good at manipulating their parents. Do you know that? And that's where the bullying starts. They use their little charm on you, their little cuteness on you and I. I'm not exempted, because trust me, if I know now, then rather what I know now, the things that my sons got away with, they would not get away with it now. You understand? All of those little charming behavior pattern and little words that they would say, and even when they reach teens, from you see they start complimenting me. Oh, mom, you look so good. Oh, mom, you smell so good. You know there is a mom, can you give me this coming fast behind it? Right? So I am not bashing you. I am just saying that I am helping you to open your eyes to the factors that affected me, so that you do not make the same mistakes that I made, okay? All right, so I would have been glad if there was such a program. Ain't Dalton? You and I would be so glad if we were getting this kind of messages and programs now, correct? Yes. So take it in, suck it in, call your kids, call your neighbors, call everybody together and grab your notes and pen as we go into the topic for tonight.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have arrived.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should.
Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness, beyond a wholesome discipline. Be gentle with yourself.
You are a child.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding.
No doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. You are going to have to prepare your child to take their place in this universe, okay? So, let me do the disclaimer real quick, letting you know that this Saturday, August the 2nd, we, the members of the What's the Matter with the World of the Families Gone Mad, is proclaiming that UTSNnetwork.com radio and television staff and agents and owner is not necessarily responsible nor in agreement with the opinions stated here on this show tonight. All right? And the next thing I want to do is to invite you to call in if you want to ask any questions regarding or make a comment or resonate with what was said last week, where bullying is concerned, or any topics that we did to prepare on the series of preparing your child back to school. You are a child of the universe. Now, let me tell you the telephone number to call: 954-309-2426. That's 954-309-2426. And that is the number to call if you so need to call in to just to resonate, give your opinion, ask a question, or anything along that line. All right? No, I don't want you to miss some very important pointers that we are going to present to you tonight. So I'm going to run straight into that, and we might just not take our break. So let me tell you who are our sponsors. For tonight's program, we are being sponsored by the Bitter Melon from Lake Farm Products Corporation, and it is known to substantially reduce diabetes 1 and 2. As a matter of fact, to eradicate it from out of your body. And high blood pressure is also known to be taken away by this. Also, it promotes weight loss. You lose some of that belly. See, I am now fitting into things that I couldn't fit into before because I take it every morning. Your 2 large tablespoons full. All right? Now the number to go about getting it is 954-309-2426. And that's where you can get it in bulk, but you can also get it at all the Caribbean restaurants and food marts, as well as CVS Pharmacy. Okay, so that's one of our sponsors. The other one is the Cozy Guest House Florida, wherein you get you pay half the price for the same luxury. Half the price for the same luxury. So whenever you are in Florida, you got to call 954-479-8212. That's 954-479-8212. So now that we've done some house cleaning, I am going to also try to bring on an expert in the field because, as I said over and over, I am not an expert. I am not a preacher. I am not a psychiatrist. I'm none of those things. So all I am is God's humble servant bringing to you what he has given me to give you. All right? Now, our darling children, we want to prepare them to take place in society. And please, parents, don't go around with closed eyes. Remember, once I told you that the moment you find out as a couple that you are pregnant, that you have a baby coming, start preparing that child with your mindset. Things that and anger and things that you used to do and so on, change those habits. Change your mindset. Your mindset is very important. If you was an angry person, somebody that easy to be irritable, if you carry very nervous behavior patterns, poor eating habits, if you are addicted to drugs, smoking, or one of you smokes, so you're around the other that smokes, the child is gonna get all of this feedback from inside the belly, the womb. Okay? So what am I saying here? Pregnancy is not just a blob of blood, as how sometimes they want to tell you. That's an important important human being. That child might be the next surgeon who will change the world. You remember how Ben Carson, that neurosurgeon, was the first surgeon to separate those Siamese twins? You can bring a child in this world to make a difference, to be a trailblazer. The person who first invented light was a baby. If his mother got rid of him, we probably wouldn't have light now. Or all the other inventors, or the presidents, and the prime ministers, and the governors, and the leaders, and so on. Teachers who your child has a place here in this universe, and you need to look at that child in that perspective. Not thinking of the child as a mistake, not thinking of the child as a hamper to your progress in life, but thinking of that child as a special gift to you from God above. All right. So once you start thinking that way, the next step is to prepare everything for that child's entrance. As materially now, I'm talking about. You in pregnancy, you can sing to that child. I remember when I just found out I was pregnant, I started singing to my child. I would sing and sing and sing and have some real awesome music around me. My house was filled with music, and I would have only proper speech pattern being spoken between my husband and anyone who visited us. As much as possible, I try to eliminate myself from toxic environment. The next thing I did was to have inspirational speeches and presentations around me, constantly playing things, having something running that is inspiring and motivational, and so on. That way you can prepare your child. Then, when that child comes into this world, start observing the child's attitude. Start observing their little automatic movements and behavior patterns. One of my sons, I'm telling you, that child started speaking from about 8.5 to 9.5 months. And he was making sentences. I am telling you the truth. It was all babbling. But he looked at you, and he would look at you in that intelligent way, and you know he's asking you something. We just could not understand what he's saying. But he will point, and he will say something in his baby babble, but you know he was conversing with you, and he would just on and on and on, and he would sing to every song that was playing. He would move and he would sing to it, and so on. And as you can know when he's awake, because you can hear him talking. You could hear him talking, and he's pointing, and he's touching you, and I said to myself, I started pointing it out to people, and I would say, Mom, or to my husband, I am certain this child is speaking. He's saying something to us, but we just couldn't understand. But he would point, and he would touch, and while he's doing, he said, at that very tender, literal baby stage, I was running it by someone, and that person told me, that child his talent is gonna lie in his mouth. Believe you me, I am, as I sit here, when that child was grown in to career choice level now and so on in high school and stuff, and they did that IQ on him. All of his talents, everything came back with his mouth. His mouth was where his money lies. Customer service, singer, advocate, lawyer, speech presentator. It was, you should see the list. Politician, everything that had to do with speech pattern. That's what those were the career lines that my son, the IQ that they did. Those were what he passed with flying colors. Now the other son, I knew he was the younger one. I knew he was gonna eventually be somebody that likes to be alone, to just stay in a corner and do his thing. He didn't like people around. He was just a loner, a solo, I would say. Because he would just wander away from the crowd or from wherever we are, and you would find him somewhere with a stick, just bashing at a bush and talking to the bush and whatever, or digging a hole all by himself and stuff like that. And to this day, as an adult, he chose career. And another thing about that second son, whenever time we give them allowances, believe you me, he would take out those money every night, count it out. Penny, 10 quarters, 1 quarter, 2 quarter, whatever it is. And he would put it back into the container. And he repeated that action every night. And he would count the money as it grew. And believe it or not, that child now is a financial advisor in the world of finance. So you can notice those patterns that your child carry out. And those patterns is what God gives them as their natural inborn talent. Now, as a parent, you can enhance these talents. You can pull it out of them, and you can eventually open their eyes to the fact that those same talents can be their income, their earning power. So you get what I'm saying? Am I on the same page? You can feel free to call me. Let me repeat the number again. 954-309-2426. That's 954-309-2426. Now, let me bring out another pointer now. That in the roles that you can play in helping your child to discover themselves. Okay, remember that's the pathway that we're on. You know, this is where your pocket might come in play. And this is where some time of yours might come in play. But you can start doing some investigation of your own. Research. Do some serious research. And for example, if you notice, as I said, one of my child, he used to love go on Google Earth. And he would always be outside digging. I said, I knew this child would be interested, and he's an outdoor person. He'd like to watch the storm and anything that has to do with the element. And I said, okay, he's gonna be a meteorologist or something. But he's gonna love to be on the outdoor. He likes to observe what is going on outside in the element, digging earth and anything to do with archaeologists and things like that. And so we apply for the animal channel. As a matter of fact, we place 2 channels. We had to order 2 channels when we noticed, because as I said, one was very good with his mouth and very innovative. He would tell you, I will charge you to do for this and for that. He would somehow see, he was a born entrepreneur. He would see everything as a means of making money. Everything. He would see it as a means of making money. As a matter of fact, to this day, he does business consulting. So, that's one of them. So what we did, we ensured that we had a channel that they could watch, like Loan Shark as young as they are, they would watch those business programs, Loan Shark and some pawn shop thing. Those were what I noticed the kids were watching over and over again. And the other one, as the one that liked anything to do with digging and elements out there and so on, he would constantly watching the Animal Channel. It was a dream, it was a joy to just watch the children interest in these channels and watching these things rather than a lot of cartoons and horror movies and things like that. So you can open the way for them. Now, because the oldest one also liked to sing, as I told you, and man, every party that was held in the neighborhood, a child's birthday party, it is not a party unless he was invited, because he would just stop, and I don't know where, because we don't dance at home. But I don't know, he just get into the movement and he would just start dancing to the songs, and everybody would stop and watch him, and guess what? They would give him money to dance, you know? So, and to this day, that particular child goes around and he sings, and when he opens his mouth, oh my goodness, he brings the roof down. The same one that I told you had the talent with his mouth. You know, the others sing as well. And the one I'm discovering that he's also writing poems and stuff. But so you can have multiple talents, and you're discovering them as a child go along and so on. Then we have another son whom, oh my goodness, everything that he touches and pull apart, oh my goodness, he put that thing back together as if it's brand new. He figures out, we gave him a car, the oldest of the cars, and that child to this day have that car right now. He changed out everything with his bare hands on it. He will touch a computer, anything, and turn. And what we do is we gave him that car and watched him make that car work for him and so on. While the others, they have gone through 3, 4, 5, 7 cars already, and he still have that one vehicle. Whenever neighbors needed things to move, and they come and said, "Can you lend me your son?" He would be the one. He would literally know to pack an entire house into one little space. That's how good he was. And what we did, we opened a business that he could work, own it as a mover. So you can watch your children's talent and facilitate them. We bought piano for the one that can sing and so on, just to see what they would like. Carry the other one to different programs at archaeologists and so on. When we get back, we are going to, hopefully we have someone who can give you a wider spectrum of what we are talking about as we go on our break.
You conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here.
Enjoy your achievements as well as your
Okay, we're
plans.
back together again.
Keep interested in your own career. However
And again, I'm
humble, it is a
inviting you to
real
call
possession that changes.
954-309-2426. If you want to resonate, share, ask a question, whatever, with our program tonight that we're talking about. You're listening to What's the Matter with the World? Have the families gone mad? And I am your host, Cavell Spence Samuels, and you're listening to us on utsnnetwork.com, radio and television. We are going on to the second half of our program. Now, I want to remind you of our sponsor, which is the bitter melon from Lake Farm Products. As I told you before, it's known to help with diabetes, high blood pressure, and promote weight loss. And also, Cozy Guest House, Florida, wherein you get the same luxury for half the price. So, what am I saying here? You're preparing your child for, to take their place in society. Hello, caller? Good night. Do we have a call on the line?
Yes, there's a caller.
Hello, caller. Can you hear me? Hello?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, good night. Are you hearing
Good
me?
night. Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, okay. Just hold a minute. I'm going to put you through real quick now. Just give me a minute here. All right.
Okay.
So we have
Okay.
a caller here, and he's going to put forth his point to us. But as I was saying real quick, is reach a point where you also discuss your child's talent with them. Point it out to the child that, hey, I noticed that you are good at this. Would you like to go to practice? Would you like to go to games? Would you like and practice some more that talent or whatever is the talent of the child? Okay. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Not bad.
Okay, I think I'm having an echo here. Hold a minute for me.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Are you hearing me better now?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Good night. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Could you tell us where you're calling from and your expertise in the area? What's your name?
I'm Peter John. I'm calling from Margate, Florida.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm both a pastor and a teacher.
All right. Okay. So we're going to pick your brain tonight, Peter John. Thank you so much for calling.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes. All right. So what I want to ask you, Peter John, is you said you're also a teacher. So that means that you're in the world of schooling and molding minds. Okay.
Yes.
What age level you deal with most of the time?
Well, I deal with all levels of students, and what I find out with students at all levels is that each child is very unique.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I just want to tie that in with my background as a minister. I can say God has made each one of us unique.
Amen.
We are indeed wonderfully made. And that's the thing we notice with our children, that each child is unique. And so we as teachers have to be very creative in reaching each child.
Wow.
Not the same method will work on all, but we have to be very creative to ensure that we can impact each child according to those unique traits and abilities.
Wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So tell me something. As educators, what do you look out for in a child that makes you know that particular characteristics of that child is a characteristic that can play a role in their finances eventually. Um, yes. So what would you advise, or what do you notice? How do you pick up, in other words, features and characteristic of children that makes you're sure that that particular characteristics need to be developed in that child? How do you pick it up, and at what point do you start pointing it out either to the parents or the child?
Okay, well, whenever whenever stage a teacher may get a child, some teacher will get a child for the first time at middle school, and whenever that teacher, whichever stage of the child's learning cycle they get the child at, they will notice things that are unique, as I said before, about the child.
Yes.
And once they notice those things, based on the teaching curriculum, based on what they know, the hidden curriculum as well, they will be able to say, here what? This child, I noticed that this child knocks on the decks a lot. And maybe it's an indication. Maybe first you go off of a theory. Maybe it's an indication that this child is musical. And so the teacher now can create creative means to really test out this theory, right? Maybe while doing a lesson, the teacher will incorporate decks knocking or something musical. And when the teacher realizes how the child responds to that, then the teacher can go forward from there and say, hey, definitely, this child is a musical child. Get this child into the choir, advise the parents, and so forth. So these are little things. Yes.
Okay. So if it's a healthy, are you able to eliminate some of the background noise where you are?
Not quite.
Maybe somebody else have another. Trying to listen to you in another room close by or something.
I'm on the road at the moment, so it's not so possible.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. We're hearing you clearly. It's all right.
Okay.
Okay. So once as educators, you notice these talents of the child, and the schools start to try to embrace or bring out that those qualities in the child, and so on. You're telling me that there are programs that the school has that can develop these attributes of the child?
Well, not all schools have this program, unfortunately. There are some schools whose focus is purely academic, while other schools have a mixture of academic and technical areas. So if you're a part of a school that only focuses, let's use, for example, academic, and the teacher may realize that, hey, this child has technical capabilities. This child could be a great builder of skyscrapers and so forth.
Okay.
Maybe the teacher could recommend to the parents, say, get this child in a technical school where there are more facilities, more equipment, and where the teachers are more trained to develop this technical ability. So not all schools does it, but if a teacher notices it in a child, they can recommend the type of school that is best suited for the child.
Okay, so the teachers can work along with the parents to steer the child in the right direction. And
yes.
So you're saying that not all size fit everybody.
No, not all size.
One size rather fit everyone. So
exactly.
Yes. So if a school is adamant about a child have to follow this or that program, a child has to go through the rigors of, as you say, probably academic or or if they are at an athletic school wherein they have to be on the team, for example, in order to get a scholarship. You are doing
Yes.
that child an injustice if that is not really the child's preference, but because the parents prefers or have this ideal of what they would like their child to be, right?
Yes. And we noticed that this is probably some of the reason that we noticed a lot of studies have been done on this,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of scholars have agreed that probably this is the reason why many students don't perform at a higher level than their potential is able to go, is
Oh, really?
because they are in programs that are not suited for them. They are in programs that are not suited for them.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the things that a teacher may notice and can recommend to the greater education governing body, maybe the school board and the parents and so forth. And a lot of agencies could work together to get a program that is suited for this child,
Oh, wow.
and so that the child can reach their full potential.
Wow, wow. What do you have to say to parents who is adamant on their child following their footsteps? Like, for example, you have some parents wherein this is a family of lawyers, and you have to walk in the footsteps of the family. You know that kind of mentality, or the father wants the child to be a farmer and come and run the business with him, but that child has no desire. The child doesn't even like to see dirt. You know what I mean? So what kind of advice can you give that parents?
Well, that's a very good question, and this is some of the challenges that educators face all around the world.
Wow.
Yes, and it's a very sensitive issue, especially when you're dealing with deep family traditions. It's a very sensitive issue, and one that has to be handled sensitively as well. So, a teacher can probably try his or her best to show a family that this is what the child inclination is towards. The child inclination is towards medicine. And
Yes.
you can show all the empirical evidence that the teacher would have gathered from testing and so forth, and say these are all the evidences that this child is destined for medical proficiency.
Wow.
And anything outside of that will be hindering this process or this progress into this field. And in a sensitive way, we advise parents to put their child first. Put their child before themselves.
True.
And we can mix the ministry with it. I'll say, what would Christ do? Would Christ be selfish, or would Christ put others before himself? And we do so in the most sensitive of ways, because we understand that sometimes these are deep traditional values, deep traditional cultural history that runs very deep in the family, and it should be handled sensitively and carefully. But we always emphasize that we should put the child first. So we encourage parents and guardians to put the child first.
Oh, yes.
So that's my advice to parents and guardians.
Thank you so much on that. I can't thank you enough for that. I want to ask you, what is called, I have met upon this thing called soft experience, or soft work experience, introducing to children. What exactly is that?
Oh, I did not hear that one so clearly. If it's possible to
What
repeat.
exactly is soft skills? I've heard the term soft skills, and it's as if they're saying introduce your child or to utilize soft skills. Yeah, as if it is something that the little things that they can do and earn some money around the place or something like that. Could you help me in clarifying that soft skill thing aspect?
Okay. I thought you mentioned something about soft skills.
Yes, yes, and they said the child can even write that as a little first resume, kind of thing.
Well, that may vary from different school districts, and it may vary from different, even different states and even countries in terms of these strategies and so forth to use with children. So, as we said earlier, it's not a one fit all for all students. It's not a one size fit all for all students. There are various programs that, in terms of helping children prepare for life after school, which would in turn be professionalism. And so various districts would have various strategies in terms of career preparation for children.
Oh.
Yes, so yes, go ahead.
Yeah, let me let you stick a pin there. Now that you mention it, I am seeing here, wherein in my studies, it's as if they are saying that it's as if they are indicating that your child can start developing earning powers in little ways. And here they actually list some of them for me, wherein things like they have here, like, so do some community service. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you what role the school play in instilling this. Some countries, I don't know if the country where you are does it, but where I am here in Florida, my children had to do voluntary or community service. So I'm going to ask you, how does that play out in their development? But that is one of them. They are listing as soft skill here. Pet sitting,
Yes.
babysitting. They have here, as example. Horse stable cleaners, park workers. If they are a paperwork person, then you can even put them on the computer to assist in different technical things. And all of these, they are saying that you should, and they even have your sales clerk as an example as well, or even just at home or in their family business, they go there and assist, and you pay them some money. And they're saying here that we should pay them when they do these things at that point in their lives, and it tends to create something called their first resume and give them a sense of what now? you tell you picked up from there.
A sense of readiness for professional life.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but in addressing even that, you have the summer school program as well. But I was saying that not all styles would fit. For example, in most community service, you usually have standard tasks, and so it may be a fit for some children, but it also may not be a fit for some. So we could try other means, and you mentioned some of them in terms of the computer and helping with computer and assistance or summer school program or some of those. So in the same way, the parent and the educator will have to find the best fit for the child. Because
Okay.
the philosophy is that we put the child first.
Uh-huh.
And if we want to tap into that, in that skill that the child has, that innate ability that the child has, we have to explore all routes and see if we can find the best fit for that child. So, yes, it will help. Once we get that best fit, then the resumes can be written and so
Created.
forth.
Uh-huh.
But if we don't get the best fit, it can backfire. Mean the child could develop resentment for the working world. The child could develop
Yes.
the child could develop resentment for the working world. It could cause the child to be discouraged and want to explore alternate routes which may not be legal or which may be harmful to them. So we have to take all of these things into consideration when we look at these skills that are there to guide them for the future.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes. Very much so. Very much so. And we are running up on the hour now. We're just 5 minutes away from the news. But I want to ask you, in other words, you are saying that parents must climb every mountain, cross every sea, don't leave any stones unturned in helping your child to discover themselves and their talents, correct?
Yes, that is so correct.
And you are saying that upon discovery, or even in this discovery process, you try one thing and the child doesn't incline towards it. You try another thing and another thing, but don't stop trying until the child has reached its equilibrium with itself, with himself, and his natural earning power. Because am I right?
Yes, yes.
And the child must be involved and embrace earning the earnings, but with what they love, and they're supposed to love what they do and do what they love. Correct?
Yes, where the interest lies, where the inclination is towards.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And I can resonate with that because so many jobs that I have done that I wasn't really happy in. But how did I end up in it? I end up in it because that's the time frame I had to get out there and start bringing in some money to help my family. At the time, my mom and my brothers and sisters, so I had to just, my ideal career at the time, this is how I gravitated towards journalism, and mass communication was the final step I needed. And we just could not find the money. My parents just could not find the money. At least my mom, she was the only one in the mix to send me to that final step in university to achieve my true desire. So what? I settled for the next best, which was secretarial duties, before I move up a little more in administration and certified professional secretary and so on. So I am saying that sometimes our children lag around until at the last minute, or because of funds, they jump into something that they're not really happy with. How would you quickly in 1 minute address those children who they jumped into a career because they make so many times slip by, and then they are just trying to catch up and jump into a career that they are not happy with, or the army, or something that they are just not happy with, they're not fit for, or whatever. And we have 1 minute to address that.
I will address this way. Rather than focus on the child who is young, lacking experience, they may not have that aptitude for such calculations in terms of future. So this is where the parents, this is where the community comes into play. To guide the child that, hey, we notice that this is where you are inclined to, and we notice that you have a passion towards this. We can help you reach your full potential, right? So This is where the
Wow.
community come working with the child and help the child develop those skills and experience that when they are experienced enough, they can handle all of these things on their own. Right? So this is where the community comes into place, and the community involves the school, the church, the family, and so forth,
And the
to
neighbors.
help the child and guide the child to reach their full potential. As we say, we put the child first.
Okay. Okay, and I just want to leave us with this text here from the Bible, Romans 12, verses 6, where it says that God gives each of us a special talent. In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. And He gives us, and He also ends that text by saying, use them. Use them. So we use the talents that God has given us. And parents, thank you, Peter John. On behalf of Peter John, UTSAnetwork.com, radio and television, thank you for listening. But please, not only listen, but apply it to your lives, apply it to your children. And happy children give you a happy society and happy home. Thank you for being with us. Be here again next week at 8 p.m. sharp Saturday night, where we go on into another phase of into the month of September with sex trafficking and technology stealing our children. So thank you for being with us. Thank you, Peter John. Thank everybody for being with us, and all the best. God be with you all. Until next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye for now.